Alright guys, we are back, and as exciting as ever, we have a brand new ban list in Master Duel. This is one of the reasons that Master Duel is one of the superior formats to play Yu-Gi-Oh! You get a ban list basically once a month. This month we've had 2 ban lists, which is actually kind of incredible. It really freshens up the game, it rotates things in and out. It's actually really nice. Let's go through the cards one by one. We've got at the start here 2 cards going to 1. It's Tenpai. Tenpai has been the best deck for the last, I want to say, like month, 2 months, roughly speaking. Since it came out, it's been the best deck. It's an outrageously good deck. It's the best going second deck ever printed in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. And of course, they were going to hit it. Last ban list, they kind of hit it. They hit the cards outside of the archetype that the archetype used. Now they're hitting the cards that the archetype actually used. So it is a little bittersweet on one hand. It is kind of sad that the only going second deck that is viable is getting hit, but on the other hand, this deck was just outrageous, and it played so many hand traps, so many board breakers, and then as long as you had one Chandra, you basically did like 40,000 damage. So it was toxic, but at the same time, it was one of the only decks that you could play where the coin flip legitimately did not matter. Now, these are the hits. So we've got Chandra getting hit to 1. This is a massive hit for the deck. Huge hit. Chandra is probably the central playmaker of the entire deck because of this card right here, or this effect right here, at the start of the damage step. If it battled, it summoned a monster from the deck. Effectively, by this card going to 1, if you simply wait for the battle phase, right? Don't do it in the main phase. Wait for the battle phase so it's affected. Wait for the battle phase, and when your opponent declares an attack with Chandra, just activate Infinite Impermanence, imperm this card, and you effectively have beaten the deck. Like, one imperm literally beats this deck. It's sad if you're a Tenpai player, but if you're everybody else, you're probably pretty thrilled. But yes, one imperm basically beats the deck as long as you go for that. Next is Sangan Summoning. This is the field spell. Honestly, I don't think they even need to put the field spell to 1 if they're already hitting this card anyway. But the field spell to 1 makes the deck less consistent. You do still have the quick play, you still have the Hydra, you still have the other stuff. The deck is still very, very consistent, but with only 1 field spell, if they destroy the field spell and let's say like main phase 1, you don't have another one, so you can't do the double your attack. You can't like double the attack of the synchro monster when it gets destroyed, so it kind of kills a little bit of the deck. Also, the deck doesn't exactly have recursion, so once you destroy that 1 field spell, there's no getting it back. It's basically gone forever. So these are actually massive hits for the deck. They didn't have to ban anything, but the consistency is really significantly impacted, and this is a going second deck, so already you're going second. So when you hit consistency on a deck that's already going second, it just makes it that much more difficult to play. Next, we've got cards going to 3, so these are interesting. We've got Trickstar Reincarnation. This card is, it's controversial. It's very annoying because, this plus Droll and Lockbird leaves you with no hand whatsoever. So that's the reason why it got hit in the first place. Of course, it didn't get hit on Master Duel. It got hit years and years ago in the OCG, but it just kind of got imported into the Master Duel ban list. But yeah, Trickstar Reincarnation going to 3. This card is toxic. I'm not going to lie. To bring back Sangan Summoning, to hit Tenpai and then bring this back, this is arguably as toxic. Plus, there is new Trickstar support, so this is very searchable, very easy to access. It was to give a boost to the new Trickstar stuff. Next, another card going to 3, White Dragon Wyvern Buster. Honestly, Dragon Link is doing nothing at all, so yeah, it's nice to give them back some cards. These cards, I wouldn't say, it's a combo deck. You can't really say it's like toxic, non-toxic. It is a very good card, and going to 3 does definitely have an impact, especially when you want to play, 2 white dragons, 2 black dragons. It is better for the consistency of the deck. Also, the White Dragon was always just generally better in Dragon Link because you banish a dark and you have more darks than you have lights. So the White Dragon was always just 100% better to play, so that for them is good. 3 copies of Floowandereeze and M-Pen, which is kind of crazy because, this deck is, again, like it's incredible to me how they can, like hit Tenpai, but then bring things back for Floowandereeze, which is easily one of the most annoying decks to play against on this entire app. So one day they ban limit Fossil Dyna, the next day they're bringing back M-Pen, and M-Pen And this archetype in general is just very, very good in Master Duel because it's a best of one format, and if they just set up their flundery stuff, it's very tough to play through. And the second end pen is very important for the grind game, because if you out the first end pen, it's annoying, but then, yeah, if you can out the first end pen, then you're basically good. But now that they can summon 2 end pens, like you can imperm the end pen, and they go, okay, no problem, and they activate a trap card, summon another one, it can be a little bit annoying, because he is a floodgate, he does have protection. This effect right here has the protection, the halving, it does search, it does, you know, you have to summon your monsters in defense mode, otherwise they you can't activate their effects, which is annoying, so that's annoying. Another card for Dragon Link Quick Launch, another card. I didn't even realize this was at 2, so going to 3, it makes no difference to me. I didn't even know it was at 2. And then Hornet Drones. This is actually pretty significant for Sky Strikers. I think Sky Strikers might be fully unlocked now. I have to go double check, but every few ban lists, they've been like taking off, peeling off a card for Sky Strikers. Sky Striker is not only a fan favorite deck, but it's also a Konami favorite deck. Konami loves Sky Strikers. So they're getting an anime, and now they're getting Hornet Drones back. Hornet Drones, again, is just more copies of Ray for the deck. So you have Ray, Rose, now you have this. So now those 3, and then on top of that, you have all those monsters that they printed that aren't very good, but you also have access to them. So I guess the idea here is, if they had all of those monsters and nobody's playing those, what's another Hornet Drones or 2? So that's why that kind of got released. And then the last card is Herald of the Orange Light. This got hit because of Drytron, and yeah, it's back. I mean, what could I say? It was Drytron, and there's another. Oh no, never mind. This didn't even get hit because of Drytron. This got hit because of Tearlaments and the Ishizu cards, the graveyard like Ishizu cards, the shufflers that they and the millers. But those are basically the reason that this card actually got hit in the first place. Those cards are almost all either banned or limited. I think there might be 1 or 2 of them that are still limited. And then Agido and all of those other ones are all banned. So there's like 1 limited card that you could even possibly use with this. So it's absolutely not at the power that it's at. And honestly, Herald of the Orange Light, it just makes sense to bring this back. There's also some cards, now that we're kind of done reviewing this, there's cards that got hit because of Tenpai that we should probably bring back because they weren't toxic. Like Lightning Storm kind of is a necessary card in this game, especially when it's so difficult to go second. So hitting it because of Tenpai, but now you hit Tenpai, so how about we bring it back maybe? I don't know. But this is the ban list. Like I said, I'm kind of like mixed on it. They send weird messages where they like bring back cards that are arguably very toxic, but at the same time, they hit decks that are, I mean, Tenpai is stronger than every other deck, so it makes sense. It makes sense that they got hit, but at the same time, they do bring back cards that are arguably as toxic as the ones they hit in previous ban lists.
Are you ready to take your Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel play experience to a new level? The Untapped GG Companion is here for you. Use the deck tracker to know exactly what cards you have in your deck, and to go over any cards you aren't familiar with yet by hovering over them. It instantly updates when you draw a card, and automatically hides if you check your extra deck or graveyard. This is the perfect tool to help you master a new deck. The Untapped GG Companion also lets you import decks directly into the game in seconds. Copy any YDK or YDKE deck string, create a new deck in game, click the Start Auto Import button, and let us take the wheel. Once the duel is over, check your win rate on your personal stats page. Brag among your friends and share your decks so they can import them into the game too. Start your path to master today by downloading the Untapped GG Companion at ygom.untapped.gg.